Yes, the New York Jets just made an awesome trade, right? Darren Mougey is packaging Michael Carter and a 2027 7th round draft pick to the Philadelphia Eagles in exchange for wide receiver John Metchie, former Alabama star, and a 2027 6th round pick. So what Mougey just did was he traded away a player that I don't believe is going to be here for the long term. I do believe he would have been a cap casualty after the season ends. He's one of the highest paid slot corners in football, and he's not the best slot corner on the team. We already have his replacement in Jarvis Brownlee, right? In the weeks leading up to the trade deadline, the one thing I kept on, mentioning over and over again, I'm okay moving on from Michael Carter for, I don't want to say basically anything, but if it's a late round pick, if it's a future pick, I'm fine with it. Why? Because I'm really concerned about that contract moving forward. I'm concerned about his recent play. Just going to be honest, through the first 4-ish games of the NFL season, he looked unplayable. And I hate to say it because I really like Michael Carter, the person. I love his story. Day 3 pick out of Duke. Comes in, is feisty. He's making an impact as a rookie, and Roberts all his defense in the slot. Slot corner, nickel cornerback, that whole position is very, very tough. You have to be light on your feet. You have to be feisty. You have to be able to actually contribute in run support. Slot corner is difficult to just step in and just instantly produce. And Michael Carter did that for, the first couple years of his NFL career. So I'm wishing him nothing but the best over in Philadelphia, right? I thank him for his time with the Jets. And again, I hope he goes to Philly and balls. I hope, he has immense success. But I have to put my fandom aside. I have to look at things objectively. And objectively speaking, Michael Carter looked unplayable through the first 4 games of the NFL season. And at that price tag, again, one of the top highest paid slot corners in football, for that level of production, that is a huge margin. That is a huge difference there. And that is a problem if you're a general manager who did not draft that player, who did not give Michael Carter that extension, to look at that contract equals, it should equal similar sort of production. And that simply wasn't the case with Michael Carter. Throw on top of it that in exchange for a pick swap, we go out and we land an upgrade in Jarvis Brownlee, a young player who can continue to get better, a player who already fits the Aaron Glenn system, the Steve Wilkes defense. He has this, aggressive, violent personality, which I really like, which I think the Jets desperately need on this team. He comes in and is an instant upgrade immediately. We all felt his presence against the Denver Broncos. So again, that's why I was okay with, hey, we can move on from Michael Carter. We don't have to, now invest assets into replacing Michael Carter. It's not like trading away Breece Hall or Jermaine Johnson or Quinnen, where it's just like, okay, now that player's leaving and now we have to potentially use the picks that we're getting back in return to now fix that position. No, Brownlee's already an upgrade. And so, again, Darren Mougey is moving on from this player. We're getting the better of the draft picks. We're going from a 7th to the 6th. I kind of figured it would be the other way around. We're getting a 6th rounder here, albeit it's in the future in 2027. And we're attacking the biggest position of need on this football team, wide receiver. Now, to be fair, John Metchie, I don't want to make it sound like we've just acquired Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase up to this point, specifically this season. It's not like Metchie is lighting the world on fire or anything like that. But man, you look at him as a prospect. What is he? 6 foot, 185 pounds. One of my favorite things about Metchie, very, very quick feet. He was always this balanced ball carrier, right? When you watched him on the sidelines, being able to tiptoe, and he stays in bounds and picks up another 15 yards. Watching him work over the middle of the field, I think he is a very, very interesting prospect to add to this room that desperately needs help. So, in essence, macro perspective, Darren Mougey has moved on from a player that, quite frankly, we did not need. I'm going to assume that Philadelphia is going to be taking on the majority of this contract, so we're going to be saving money now, and we're going to be saving money in the long run. We already have his replacement, so we don't need to worry about investing a future contract, investing, a draft pick, a 2nd round pick, a 4th round pick in a nickel corner. No, it's already done and handled. And we've also taken a flyer on a young wide receiver. What is he, 25 years old? Think about this too for a second, right? There were also rumors connecting Metchie to the New York Jets before he was traded to Philadelphia. So the Jets have had their eye on Metchie for quite some time. You know, you take a look at some of these other acquisitions, these other trades that the Jets have made. Jawan Breaks has worked out. He's looked awesome. Harrison Phillips, as expected, not been disappointing whatsoever. And we've talked a lot about Jarvis Brand-Lee here. You know, throw on top of it Mason Taylor coming onto the scene, Armand Membu coming onto the scene, Malachi Moore, Francisco Mauanoa, day 3 prospects that are, or day 3 draft picks that are looking pretty solid, looking like they belong. Are they perfect? No. Do they still have a lot of room left to go to be consistent NFL pros? Yes, obviously. But for day 3 rookies, they are producing. Darren Mougey has been here literally less than a year, a handful of months, 9-10 months. Darren Mougey got the job. And he's brought in that many players in one swoop in a not so great free agency class. Yeah, I feel comfortable with Darren Mougey here. I'm a big fan of what Darren Mougey has done so far, you know, through his Jets tenure. So, man, oh man, what a trade here. What a trade from Darren Mougey. And, you know, again, I was thinking maybe just a pick swap. But we get a pick swap and a young player at the worst position on the team at wide receiver. So I am freaking fired up. Let's go. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. And as always, go Jets.